3 points for Luton Town. But are we seeing more of the same? I just got back from Luton Town 1, Hull 0. And to say that we were second best throughout that game would be an understatement. I have no idea how we came away with a win from that game. From the start, it looked like 2 games completely bereft of confidence. More so for Hull in the sense that they couldn't finish their dinner. There were 2 absolute gilt-edged chances that they had. João Pedro, don't know how he hit the post. That happened right in front of me because Hull was shooting towards the Oak Road end in the second half. I'm in the main stand. No idea. Just assumed that was in. And then it came back off the post. And then Chris Bedia as well. I don't know what he was doing. He got the angle of his body all wrong and managed to miss from, wow, it must have been about 2-3 yards out. It was one of the worst misses I've seen at Kenilworth Road in my 29 years going. But on to the performance. It reeks of the Sheffield Wednesday win. It reeks of the Cardiff win in the sense that the performance just wasn't there. But we've come away with the 3 points, and these could be 3 very vital 3 points. And I was talking to my dad about it on the way back, and he was saying it's a great 3 points, you know? And I'm not debating the fact that it's not a great 3 points, but what I said to my dad was we should not be in a relegation battle. I'm not saying we have a divine right to get promoted. If anything, I don't want to see us get promoted because the journey is much better than the destination. The Premier League, yes, there's a lot of money in there, but at the same time, you're watching your team getting turned over week in, week out, and so nears, but yet so fars. I much prefer the Championship. It's a great league. In my opinion, it's the best league in the world. That's why we do Championship videos and content, because we enjoy it. We love the Championship. However, I feel Luton Town should be upper mid-table, considering the squad that we have. Just a word on the squad we have, and I was talking to the guys that I sit with. Where's the pace in the team? There is no pace in the team, and if we are going to persist with this, I guess you call it counter-attacking football, there wasn't really too much counter-attacking. Today, Carlton Morris, I would say, it was comfortably one of his worst games. He was just constantly trying to win fouls, and the ref was having none of it. I don't think it necessitated the ref being booed off the pitch. I don't know what that was about. I felt the refereed the game quite well, but at full time, the ref still got both barrels from the enclosure, block F, and the main stand. Carlton was only interested in winning fouls. He wasn't trying to create anything else. As soon as he got the ball, he just started running, and then he'd stop and then wait for someone to take him down. But regardless, for the first half, it was mostly one-way traffic. I felt there was a goal coming from Hull. I said at half-time as well, going in 1-0 up, I thought, crikey, we could lose this one. And they came out hard. They went for us. Honestly, with the talent in their squad, especially Kamara, who's a player that we were linked with in the summer, but we didn't sign him because he cost too much or something. And there was a point in Gary Sweet's program notes as well where he mentions about the summer transfer window, and he said we dealt with unscrupulous after unscrupulous agent. Is Gary Sweet new to football? You have to pay the price. The price is the price at the end of the day, and a lot of these clubs that you're trying to sign players from, their only revenue, they don't have parachute payments. So naturally, they're going to up the price. That is just the economics of football. That is how the teams who have never and will never see the light of the Premier League, like Bristol City, QPR again. I'm just putting my foot in it with all these teams that I'm about to name. So I'll stop. But these teams that don't have the Premier League money and, quite frankly, are financially so mismanaged that their only way to get back in the black financially is to sell a player. Yeah, of course they're going to raise the price. Like, that's just football. That is the economics of football. But regardless, that guy Kamara, he looked really good. He had Burke on toast for a lot of the game. And Rob said in his post-match that they had to rejig a few things because Amari Bell pulled up just before the game. He was injured. Speaking of players that have come back from international break, though, Marv Nakamba. I've caught a lot of flack on social media saying, why isn't Marvellous Nakamba playing? You know what? After that performance today, why isn't Marvellous Nakamba playing more? It's almost as if we had to show that he was able to play by letting him play back-to-back 90 minutes for Zimbabwe. Yes, like, sure, the pace of the game in Africa might not be that of the championship, but you can only play what's in front of you. Without doubt, injury, no injury, whether he's fully recovered, whether he's lost a yard of pace, he's still, in his mind, one of the best defensive midfielders in the championship. He has a pedigree. He has the football brain, so he knows where to be. What I don't understand is why he was the most advanced of the three midfielders. Don't get that. It's the tactics that keep me very frustrated. Like, after a 1-0 win, 3 points, up to 16th place, albeit in a very tight championship, I should be happier. I should be. It's papering over the cracks right now. These results, they all just serve a purpose to sort of keep Rob Edwards in a job. And I will say today, the performances across the board were very good. Like, I will go against what my co-host of the championship and also the match previews, Mark Ryman, said. He said he didn't want to see Tedamengi in a Luton Town shirt today. Well, Tedamengi, he played well today. I don't know if there have been some hard truths spoken to him, but essentially, if he does want out, he needs to start putting some money on his price tag, essentially by showing that he can perform. If you have a case of the sulkies, those are my words about Tedamengi, if you get busy sulking, people will look at that and be like, ooh, do we really want that in the team? But Tedden today, he showed what he's about defensively across the back line. I'm pretty sure it was a back three. Reece Burke was playing right wing back, although he was dropping in because Tahith Chong was playing left wing back through the game. So he was sort of playing further up, whereas Reece Burke was sort of dropping back. So it was sort of an asymmetric back five. But across the back, everyone performed really well today. Well, other than the gilt-edged chances that Hull created. But while I'm talking about gilt-edged chances, why don't we create any? We don't create any chances. I'm trying to think. For a long time, we pretty much score goals from open play. Where now, we're just creating all our chances from set pieces. And McGuinness took his goal really well. And there was another one where it was a goal disallowed, and it was a ridiculous finish from Mark McGuinness. Insane. It nearly took the net off. We have a relatively large team, so we should be taking advantage of set pieces. The problem is, where is any of the creativity in open play? There just isn't any. And Alfie Doughty's out until the new year, so we're just going to struggle through until Alfie Doughty's back. There needs to be more dimension to our play. And look, I heard Rob's post-match. I'm glad he's a bit happier. I'm glad he's sort of, when he's hinted at there's stuff going on, possibly in his personal life. And, you know, look, we all have lives. He's not a machine who lives, eats and breathes Luton Town Football Club. So fair play to him for coming out and discussing it, but at the same time, I do want Rob to succeed. I do. Honestly, I don't see him being the one to turn this season around. Like, we're nowhere near the playoffs. We're never going to get the playoffs, even before the season started. Well, actually, my pre-season predictions, I did put Luton 6th, but I did say that was a very optimistic 6th. I feel with the squad we have, we shouldn't be as bad as we are. We should be able to create more in the middle of the park. We should be able to create more for Elijah and Carlton. It's not just Luton fans, but a lot of other teams, fans and analysts and social media experts and tactics and whatever. They all put Elijah and Carlton amongst the best strikers in the division. And I am such a big Elijah Adebayo fan. I prefer him over Carlton Morris. We need to be feeding them more. We need them to not be feeding off scraps. It's getting alarming. Going back to what I was saying to my dad, we should not be in a relegation battle. As I said, we have no divine right to the playoffs. No divine right to win every single game. But we also should not be sucking this hard. We just shouldn't be. Oh, I guess I didn't say too much about the game. It was mostly Hull. They absolutely dominated possession. We didn't create anything. Hull did. And Hull are banging trouble because their strikers can't finish their dinners. I think Rob Edwards wins El Sacchio this week. I don't think Tim Walter will be around for too much longer. But they played some good stuff, like considering the conditions. They were absolutely terrible. But if Hull were able to play some good football in those conditions, why can't we? And look, I know Rob had the philosophy of free-flowing attacking football, and he wanted to turn us away from what we were doing under Nathan Jones. Well, a good example for that is Matt Bloomfield at Wycombe. He had a very big ship to turn because Wycombe had been playing Gareth Ainsworth ball for years. Almost a decade of Gareth Ainsworth hoofball. And he's done it. Wycombe play fantastic football, and they've just won their 9th consecutive game in a row in all competitions. So fair play to Matt Bloomfield. That goes to show how you can change the style of a team. Right now, we are rudderless. We have no style. And this victory, I feel, is going to go down with the likes of Cardiff, with the likes of Sheffield Wednesday. A victory where ultimately we don't deserve it, which is a real shame considering after that Watford game, where we blew them away 3-0, and that Sunderland performance, I was hoping that was the start of something. So I can't confidently say the corner has been turned, because right behind that corner, Leeds, Norwich. And one thing we don't do well at Luton Town Football Club this year, we don't travel well. And if we give Leeds half the chances that we gave Hull, they're getting buried. The chances, not Luton Town. But I should be happier. 3 points. It's a vital 3 points in the battle against relegation, and we've got to keep trying to accumulate points. But anyway, join us for the post-match phone and have your say. I look forward to hearing from all of you. If you're here on our channel, please subscribe, and there's a lot more stuff like this, post-match takes, and also we have a live pod that we record at the Bricklayers Arms in the heart of Luton. It's a very good time. As always, come on you Hatters.